Duh! Good luck!
Move, bitch, get out of my fucking way! It's Black History Month!
So this semester I was tasked with collaborating with my cohort and studio mates to come up with I guess you could call it a theme for our group show. And essentially we just had to look at all of our work to see what was like a commonality that we all had, something that we were all talking about. We came up with intermonologue, and this took a lot of effort. In one of my previous videos, we selected some like words out of a bucket. The words we were gonna like combine and like title our show that, but we wanted to come up with something a little bit more refined, and what we figured out was intermonologue. An intermonologue is like a play on our inner monologue, but the show you're essentially entering into our inner monologues, conversations that we're having with ourselves or conversations that we desire to have with other people. And so we spent a handful of weeks getting the show prepared. I spent 4 to 5 hours building a frame. The frame is 70 by 90. It was the first frame that I ever built. I went to Home Depot with my studio mate Samantha. We piled in her car lots of wood for the Lolo. It's significantly cheaper to purchase It's significantly cheaper to purchase wood from Home Depot and to build it yourself. The trade-in is that it's incredibly tedious. There's a larger learning curve and it takes a lot of woman power. Nonetheless, I got it done. I spent the remainder of the week sketching oranges for this joke that I wanted to get off my chest. The first week of school, I had this wall, and this wall was filled with paper that I had painted neon green or neon yellow. And these were ideas from either my notes app or phrases, words that I've said in conversation with other people, or phrases or words other people have said to me in conversation, and then I collected them. I'm really energized that I created that wall because it acts as a foundation to canon from as far as ideas go. I feel like I could just keep recycling either the same idea and executing it in many different ways, or I could pick and choose which idea I want to actualize and make tangible in the real world. The second show I was preparing for was Stay Gallery and Downey. I actually had my first solo show with them, and I'm always super excited when they reach out to me or there's an opportunity for me to showcase work with them. I got an email and I went ahead and submitted a couple of works, and I am currently showing a work there now. It's just one piece in a group show, and I'm really excited because I install, and then the opening is the next day.
When they gonna see the video, they gonna be sad. I wish we could've got down with them. You damn right you wish you could've got down with us.
Something that I find very interesting about collaborating with others is that I have to be I just have to be incredibly self-aware. So I'm not like interjecting or like overpowering, but also finding a balance between like when I should lead and when I should follow, which encourages me to have an open mind and to like remove my ego from situations or in instances where I feel like I need to have more control in a group. I feel like it was imperative for me to kind of experience curating a group show with my studio mates, especially one where it's like you don't choose who you're showing with. You pretty much are with a group and then you guys show together. I feel like we did pretty well for the most part in putting together our show and assigning ourselves tasks so that it all gets done. I think we had an excellent show. We were the second group, and so I feel like there may be like 4 or 5 groups, maybe more or less, and essentially we all get the opportunity to show our work for about a week and a half. Prior to this, I was just like ideating, writing, and then I built the frame. After I built the frame, I had to go purchase the canvas. That was a whole case in itself. I called graph aids and like they didn't have what I was looking for, but something that I've also learned is when things seem to not be going your way and there's like a whole bunch of tension, you're getting frustrated, I realize that's a perfect moment to actually take a deep breath and just kind of like fully rest into it, because something else is coming your way that perhaps makes more sense. I typically have a plan, but I'm also very open to the possibility of change, and I'm very curious for that change. And so I just had to pivot my mindset, and it worked out exactly better actually than I could have imagined. And I'm really grateful that I just took a beat and just like really leaned into it. The day of installation, I actually decided to make a piece, which for maybe 20 minutes had there was some like tension. There was like a little bit of discrepancy because we have this, I think it's called a maquette, so like a small mock of the larger space of the gallery, and you get to put your works in there, the models, so you can better understand what the space is looking like and what the artworks are doing in relationship to one another. Are they in conversation? Do they take away from the conversation? Do they add to the conversation? So on and so forth. And so while they were maneuvering the maquette, even though I had like a piece in there, the same day, like I had an idea. I actually had the idea a day before and I wrote it in my notes app. I took a couple of screenshots and I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna make it. So I ordered some things and I went up to the studio, quickly made a piece, and when I came downstairs, everyone was pretty much where they were going to be, and it looked pretty good. People are always open to changing and maneuvering things, because even if you have an idea in the maquette, it can still look and feel very different in the real world. But I did just introduce a new piece. Nobody knew what it was going to look like. I didn't know what it was going to look like, but essentially everything worked out and I was able to install it high up. It was a flag that I painted on, and it was exhibited next to another piece that I had. So in total I had two pieces, but I didn't necessarily want them to be in conversation with another. However, based off my critique and other people viewing the show, they liked them in conversation with one another. So that's something that I had to lean in to as well. But I'm very happy with how everything turned out. The opening at State Gallery was very fun. A handful of my friends came out. I mean, my friends came out to both, which makes me feel incredibly grateful. And I always aim to also reciprocate that same energy. I sent a handful of thank you texts and just memos letting them know how I can also show up for them as well, because I feel like reciprocity is important in maintaining friendships. Friendships are not one-sided, they're two-sided. And if I want people to continue showing up for me, I feel like it's also my responsibility to show up for them as well in the ways that I can. Downey was cool. I shared it with some people, and there was a band that played, which was really cool. I had just downloaded this video editing app thingy, and so I was like testing it out, and I was testing it out because I wanted to use it for another class. All in all, I'm super proud of myself and everyone that I was able to exhibit with. I think that showing up for myself is the best thing that I can do. Something that I've learned with oil paint and building the frame for my canvas is once I begin something, I've already made a commitment to complete it. Gotta see it through, my boy. And I think seeing things through is one of my strengths for sure. I really aim to like capitalize off of that. And so, yeah, that was like really fun. A lot of sweat, a lot of crying internally, and most of the crying internally, because that really is like a feeling I've been feeling as I increase my visions and like expand them. They're becoming bigger and bigger. That crying internally is not a yield for me to stop. It's more of like a congratulatory cry. Yeah, it's more of like a I'm proud of you cry, but it's more or less like, girl, you got this. So I'm energized to have more girl you got this cries internally. And yeah.
When they gonna see the video, they gonna be sad. I wish that we could have got down with them. Damn, you damn right you wish you could have got down with us.